Narcissists are pathetic. There is undeniable proof that we have as survivors, and this is what I want to talk about in some detail today. Everything is shallow and superficial with a narcissist. Narcs hate two things more than probably anything else, but their list of hates and fears is still pretty long. But two of them that are quite near the top are vulnerability and intimacy. They're more so scared of it, not so much that they hate it, but when there's fear, when they're scared of something, it very quickly equals, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and save myself possible rejection and or ridicule, which are other things that narcissists are extremely scared of, things like judgment or being teased, being made fun of. So they just go on ahead and skip over intimacy and vulnerability. But those are things that you need in a deep, committed relationship or really even a friendship. So what are you left with? Well, you're left with very basic, shallow, superficial relationships. As I'm sure you already know, survivor, you can never talk about anything serious. You can never move forward in a meaningful way. You never really feel like you're on the same page or like you have any kind of a breakthrough with this person. You might see rare glimpses of intimacy and vulnerability here and there, but if your relationship was anything like mine, after experiencing a moment like that, it's very quickly tossed away. They do something that causes an argument, or they go silent after one of these moments. Perhaps they even try to blow it off and give an excuse. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little, upset last night, or, whatever, kind of spilled my guts. I was drunk, whatever. But this is sad and very pathetic. None of their relationships, there's no emotional connection there. There's no intimacy, there's no closeness. You're never going to get on that deeper level with them. And again, that's something that I classify as absolutely pathetic. There is only happiness when there's misery. Narcs have a very low self-esteem. We can see this in how they treat other people, acting like a bully, but sometimes we can also see it in how they treat themselves as well. It's hard for narcs to be positive and uplifting, say nice things and boost people up. You'll never be congratulated. Anything that you get will always be either made fun of or talked down about, or they'll talk you into thinking this great thing for you maybe isn't really so great. It's so much easier for a self-loathing narc to just knock you down to their level so that basically you feel as crap as they do. Narcs also get an ego boost out of making other people completely miserable or very humiliated, very embarrassed, making them feel bad or guilty about something. That's what actually raises a narc up, is to bring somebody else down. There will only ever be misery. Oh, sure, you're going to get those few moments of happiness, but they're fast and fleeting, and they probably weren't got under any way other than manipulation anyway. So when you need to bring everyone else down to your level, which is already so self-loathing and shitty, this is very weak, very sad, and absolutely pathetic. Their children are punished in one way or another. There's only really a few ways I've ever seen a relationship go between narcs and their kids. So there's the route that I got, which was I was in the way. I was severely neglected. I got attention and treatment and the acknowledgement of like something that you like dig out of the garbage. Like, it's okay. It's kind of like a placeholder. You're going to go and get something better. You're like, drag this, coffee table up, off the curb. Like, we'll use it. We'll have to like disinfect it and maybe sand it down. But, this is just good until we get another one. But yeah, we'll shove it in the corner. That's kind of the treatment that I got. I was all right, but I was kind of a pain in the ass. I was kind of, in the way. The opposite of neglect can also, happen when a narc rules over their kid or kids, respectively, and manipulates every move that the kids make. A lot of kids can be pushed by narcissistic parents to excel in sports, academics, or, whatever the case may be. And they need to be the best at everything. Of course, the parent is going to reap the benefits from this. They'll hear the accolades. They'll get to show off everything that the kid has done and make sure that everybody knows, yeah, they're the greatest ABCXYZ because I did that. I pushed them to study. They're only like this because of me. And this places really unhealthy pressure on kids, makes them feel very used. And normally with narcs, we know that, of course, They set those same ridiculous expectations they do on us, on their children, to a place where nobody can get to. So no matter what these poor kids do, they're going to get told that they didn't do good enough. Or if they do really accomplish something that's unbelievable, they're going to be told, nah, it was okay, but you could have done better. Lastly, narcs can hang on to their kids like they're super best friends. And it's an extremely codependent relationship that forms where one can't function without the other. Most narcs that have kids are not really shy about letting everyone know who the golden child is and who the scapegoaty other kids were that don't really get very much attention. The golden child is going to be the one that they are the super best friends with. They can't do anything wrong and they're always going to be together. But when the kid tries to grow up, individuate, and become an adult, the narcissist is going to suffer at that. And a lot of narcs try to prevent their children from growing up because they want that long-term supply. So with all of that being said, if this seriously does not go on your list of some of the saddest shit that these people do, and it's to their own flesh and blood, then I really wouldn't know what would make a list if this wasn't one of them. Tantrums aplenty. You throw in some nice immaturity, some super impulsivity, illnesses, and an inability to control their emotions. And this is what it's like dealing with yet another child, all your very own. You can actually watch a person not get their way, not get people to, fall in line with them and do what they want. And you can see this massive sky is falling meltdown, just a tantrum. It's extremely pathetic to me to watch these people when they don't win, and it's always over something so trivial, always. They don't get their way. They can't make somebody do what they want them to do. Nobody moves a mountain for them, and you watch this grown-ass person crumble and collapse like a 5-year-old who you were like, no, I'm not buying you anything when you're in Target or whatever. It's really pathetic. Whether they yell and scream and act embarrassingly like a juvenile, or they go dark and fold their arms across their chest and they're not going to talk to you. This is true stellar displays of some of the lamest behavior I have seen from grown individuals. If you'd like to get some counseling and coaching with me one-on-one and have a safe place to vent and share your story with a survivor, you can visit jess-stanley.square.site, and that link is down in the description for you to click on. There you can see my full list of services and everything that I offer. Or if you'd like to go a different route, you can always send an email to bookachatwithjess@gmail.com. You can get that same information there. So there's 2 different ways to connect with me. And I, of course, look forward to hearing from you. The relationships are plentiful, yet incredibly weak. Because of all this behavior, most relationships between people and highly narky people don't last very long. And even the ones that do, they're plagued with emotional and physical affairs. Narcs need a lot of people in their lives all the time. Family, friends, significant others. It's like a whole thing. So that's what the narcissistic harem is really all about. It's a group of people that the narc can pick and choose from time to time based on whatever current need they have going on and, of course, who can meet those needs. And it's the job of all those people to boost the narc up in some way, toss him some cash, give him that little ego boost, assure the narc that whatever they have going on, maybe the other person was wrong or awful. Of course, the narc is always right. Give them a place to stay. Again, these people are all here to meet very specific and certain needs the narc might have whenever they have them. However, there's a huge weakness here when that happens. There's a main crack in the foundation of these relationships or friendships. And that is the narcissist never returns any of this, as again, I'm sure you know. You can hear all about their bad day. Something happens, you say one thing, it triggers them, and we're right back onto them. And you, in the end, don't get to say anything. Your phone never goes off unless they have an issue that you need to fix or something that you need to console them through. They're having a hard time. And this causes very weak, off-balance, unsteady, one-sided relationships that really don't mean anything. It's nothing more than you are expected to be there and serve your purpose, fulfill your need, and then you are to wait on standby until it happens again. And somebody who uses people this way is the perfect definition of pathetic as far as I'm concerned. What they have is totally at the expense of others. There are some narcs out there who do have some nice things. Maybe they have a good job, a nice place to live, but most of what is acquired by narcs all comes from a very manipulative, skeevy kind of place. They maybe only got their job because they lied, or they knocked somebody else out of the way for a promotion that was maybe more deserving. They got their house as part of a divorce settlement, and they kicked out the spouse with nowhere to go, and then just sold it for cash because they don't really care. They just want the check in their pocket. They might file lawsuits wrongfully, but they won by some sheer stroke of dumb luck and they got paid, and now they have a little bit of money in their pocket. Perhaps they have an awesome looking resume, but it's yours or somebody else's, and they've just copied it and they're feigning to have these kind of skills, and that's how they got their great job. A lot of what they have is very rarely by their own doing and on the level, on the up and up. Not very much. In a lot of cases, the arrogance and narcissistic sense of entitlement coaxes the narc into thinking that they deserve these things without having to work for them. They should just be handed over. Everything should just be given to them because, come on, this person is great and amazing. They need to just have these things. Of course, they need an entourage. One is never going to do. And since we know that to be true, we also know narcs can't be alone, so we have a place on their list of grossness in their harem that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. There are always going to be needs, massive amounts of wants and needs that these people have, and someone has got to be around to do all of these things on this lengthy list for the rest of ever. Even if they aren't necessarily close to these people, the narcissist is still of the opinion that they will come in handy at some point. And again, that's what the harem is all about. They have to hang on to everybody they possibly can. At some point, they'll need something from you. It's kind of like a person who hoards. And a very common excuse for hoarding is, well, I need to hang on to this because I'll need it somewhere down the road and then I won't have it. Well, narcs kind of hoard people. Well, I don't need this person right now, but I still need them to think I like them, or I need them to think that I'm interested because maybe they're a mechanic or a hairdresser. Well, I don't need them right now, but they have some kind of skill, or maybe they're wealthy, or whatever the case may be. I don't need them right this second, but I can't throw it out yet because I never know when I might need something to fall back on. And that's what happens. There's always an entourage. There's hundreds of thousands of people on social media, their friends, their family, their coworkers, and so on and so forth, until it's a huge group that really aren't doing anything but being in a weird one-sided codependent thing with a narc. And that's something that these people just aren't going to think about fixing. It's just simply not ever what they're going to do. But when you need so many people and you're strictly keeping people around because of what they can do or provide, I think that is really, really sad. Let me know other ways that narcs are just pathetic down in the comments. Please like and subscribe to help keep my channel growing. And of course, to get more videos and information on narcissistic abuse. It is my hope that I can reach as many survivors as I possibly can. Thank you so much for listening today. It means a lot to me. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.